In this video, we're going to see how do we do apportionment using Jefferson's method. For this scenario, we're going to pretend that we have 5 schools in a county, and they're going to divide 28 buses proportionately among the 5 schools. We're going to start very similar to how we started in Hamilton's method by finding the sum of our population to see how many total students there are. So there's 3,223 total students. Then, just like Hamilton's, we're going to take our total population divided by the number of items to be apportioned to see how many students should fit per bus. So for every 115 students, approximately, you should get a bus. Next, we take our standard quotas, which is again the same as Hamilton's. We cell reference our population for a region divided by our standard quota, and make sure you hit F4 on your keyboard to lock in the standard quota so that when we drag that formula down, each of our populations is being divided by the same standard quota. Then we're going to round each of those numbers down using the same round down function. So I'm going to do equals round down parenthesis, click on my standard quota, comma 0 to tell Excel to round it down to the next integer. And then we need to sum our minimum quotas. And if by chance our minimum quota sum to 28, great, we're done. If not, we've got to do some more work. And they don't, they sum to 26. So what Jefferson's method says to do is to pick a modified divisor that's a little bit less than the standard divisor. So I'm going to start with 114.5. I generally start in increments of about 0.5 working down until I see that I'm getting close, and then maybe I'll refine it a little bit, and I'll explain what that means as we go. So now we're going to find modified quotas, which is when we take our population and we divide it by our modified divisor. And again, make sure you hit F4 after you click on your modified divisor to lock it in so that each of our populations will be divided by that number. So I'm going to drag this down so that each of my populations is getting divided by my modified divisor, which is just a guess at this point. And then Jefferson's method says to take our modified quota and round it down to the next integer. So again, equals round down, click on the modified quota, comma 0. Drag that down to round each of them down. And now let's sum and see what these numbers equal. 26, same as before. So we did not pick a good modified divisor. Our goal is to pick different modified divisors until we have one that makes the round down of our modified quotas equal to the number of items to be apportioned. So let's go down to 114. What's nice about Excel is if you use cell references, I change this one cell and it's going to update everything. We didn't go down far enough. Let's try 113.5. Didn't change anything. Let's keep going. Let's try 113. 112.5. 112. 111.5. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You see now we got up to 27 for our total items being apportioned. Before, all of our guesses had left us at 26. And you can imagine how tedious this would be without Excel. So let's keep going. We've got to go until we get to 28. So I'm going to jump down a whole unit since it seems to be taking us quite a while to get much change. I'm going to go down to 110.5, 109.5. Aha, so 109.5 worked. Often there are a couple different modified divisors that will work. Generally, as long as you find one that works, you're good, especially if you show your work and explain your process. So with a modified divisor of 109.5, Jefferson's method says that the Owen district gets 4 buses, Macon gets 2, Lincoln gets 8, Penn gets 6, and Jefferson also gets